What is up, and welcome to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. Now, if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Luis, and if you can, introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as tradition goes around here, the first thing that we always do is to check out to see who are the first members of the Camera Junkie crew to hit the chat. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Move into our comments window, and where did my mouse go? There it is. All right. Right off the bat, we have Gretchen saying hi to the crew, to myself and Aiden. We have JP in the house, iCats Enterprises. Howdy, folks. Hope everyone is having a great Saturday. Likewise, Parker Jennings in the house saying hello to everyone. Ernesto, vamos, Luis. Feliz sábado. Let's go. Happy Saturday. We got the bilingual crew. And we got William here, Mulain, saying hey, hi, and good. Bye, bro. Hugs to Aiden. So I guess he's just stopping in and out. And Yolanda saying hi to the fam. How are we doing? All right. We also got Randy. Randy, hope everything is well with Wanda, your dog. I wish you all the best. Just know that you and your dog are in our thoughts and in our prayers. So, yep. Says, oh, we're restarting. I'm crazy. No, this is new. I was a bit late because time got away from me, right? I was setting up everything that I wanted to show for today's show. And then the next thing you know, I look up and it's 10:05 and I'm like, oh, crap, because I'm over here still setting up cameras and things like that. So I did that. And then right away, I just went live to kind of finalize the last couple of things, making sure that everything in the setup is set. But with that being said, today's subject, actually house cleaning. Yeah, before I get into my soliloquy, now that we checked the comments, and good to hear, Randy. They're doing better, thank you. All right. House cleaning. First off, we have Doc Pops. So if you don't know, my friend Doc Rock also has these amazing pop filters. Not only do they sound great, they look great, they feel great, and they're just all around the best product on the market right now. So if you're looking to spruce up the visuals on top of the audio with your pop filter game, make sure that you get your Doc Pops available at docrock.live/merch. And also, if you're looking to upgrade your Final Cut Pro skills, then you might want to check out my friend's course here, Mr. Raphael Ludwig. In basically 2 weeks, you should be knowing the ins and outs of Final Cut Pro and getting you editing like a pro. And last thing, if you're wondering how is it that I'm doing all of these amazing switches and changes and bringing comments onto the screen, well, it's this amazing program right here called Ecamm Live that I use every single day to record, produce, and go live and do a variety of different things when it comes to my content creation and production. So if you haven't done so, make sure that you go ahead and check out Ecamm Live, and the link right here or the QR code right there. Perfect. All right. And now that we got that out of the way, we're back to today's subject at hand. Now, last week we spoke about cameras, and this week it's in the same vein, right? Because what we're talking about is my new device, my new little gadget, and I have been completely enamored now. I received it last Saturday and I put it together, and it has been going nonstop. And that is none other than my Bambu Labs. Let me click the little thing here. Perfect. Oh, you know what? Let me try to add my camera here as well. Can I just... Perfect. There we go. I'll throw myself down there. That's good enough. All right. So this is the Bambu Labs. Oh, the iPhone is actually picking up the audio. I don't know if that's coming through. But we'll work on that. Well, this is my Bambu Labs. I got a couple of lights on there to kind of show you exactly what's going on. Oh, and we just saw it finish the project. So this is perfect timing. I didn't even know it was going to work out this way. To show you exactly how this works. So this is my new 3D printer. I got it last Saturday and it has been going non-stop. I had no idea how amazing and how addicting this whole new venture for me was going to be. And it's been living up to everything, like all the hype and then some. This little machine, it didn't even know that it was going to be basically like an industrial machine because it has been going nonstop, and I literally mean nonstop around the clock. I have been setting up prints that take longer, like 8-hour prints, and do those overnight so that I can have like more to do. But at the same time, all I've been doing is just like working, and as I'm working, the little thing kind of beeps. I turned it off right now, that's why I didn't hear it, because of the live stream, but it has this little chime that and once it's done, you already know that like your print is ready to go. And now I can show you a little bit of what that looks like. So I'm gonna go to it right now. Actually, before I go to it, I'm gonna explain what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to remove the magnetic tray that's on there holding the print, and I'm gonna bring it to the big screen or to the overhead. Right. All right, so let's go over here. Let me check my overhead. Oh, okay, we could turn this one off for now, but I can use that one again. Well, this is the overhead shot right now, and as you can see, it's got like this cross hatching. It's still a bit warm because the bed warms up to make sure that the prints stay nice and even and adhere correctly. But right now, we're just waiting for it to cool off, right? And then I'll be able to like detach it from the plate. This is just one of many things. So it's about a 7.5 by 7.5 inch plate, and this is the Bambu Labs A1 Mini. Now, to give you a little bit of information about this printer, let me just go back to that shot. Actually, you know what? Let me copy this. Copy. I'm gonna go to the secondary shot, and then I'm just gonna hit paste. Oh, it's locked, so let me unlock it. Paste. Hold on. Command copy. Oh, that was just my keyboard. So you saw me do it right here because you see my keyboard. Command copy or Command C, right? And then I'm going to go to the next scene, and I'm just gonna hit Command V, and bam, my face pops up there. That simple. That's Ecamm. But now I'll be able to switch between the scenes. And for some reason, the inside of the image is a little different, but I digress. So the A1 Mini, this thing, like I was saying, it's phenomenal. This thing is an entry-level printer for like novices like myself. And what it does is that it makes the 3D printing very, very enjoyable. One of the major things about this 3D printer that I was really impressed by was that you could actually start printing things right away, even before you connect it to a computer. So just taking it out of the box, right? There's certain little things, one of them that's called a benchy, right? Which is a little boat that is a pre-programmed file to test out your 3D printer. Well, they took that to the nth degree because they not only gave you the benchy, but they gave you a variety of different tools that you can use for the printer itself that you're able to print right away. Like one of them being this amazing little like scraper. And let me go to the overhead. Oh, that was not the right scene. This one, there we go. That was actually the 3D printer software that's been going nonstop, but that's getting really nerdy with it. But still, like this is a little, as you can see, the same branded Bambu Labs little scraper. And what this does is it allows me to remove prints from the board. So I'm able to just kind of like squeeze this right here in the corner. And oh, I don't know if we could hear that. You know what? I'm gonna do you guys a solid because the way that it sounds coming off of the board makes a huge difference. So I want to capture that, and I'm gonna have to turn off my crisp and all these other things. So right off the bat, let me see. I'm gonna mute that. Okay, so we have no more music. Okay, and now I'm gonna turn off the crisp. But before I do so, turning off the fans and things like that. Okay, so as you can see, I just put the scraper right there in the little corner, but the sound that this makes while it's coming off of the plate is very it's like one of the peels. Like when you just get something new and you're peeling things off, you get that same type of like feeling, or I don't even know the word that I'm trying to say, but like the same sound effects, right? The same type of ASMR, I guess is the word that I'm trying to say. All right. I'm going to turn off my crisp. Okay, so now we can hear all the sounds, and hopefully I'll be able to convey this. Oh, so nice. Hopefully that came through. Let me go ahead and turn this back on. All right, now crisp is back on, removing all the noise, and we could bring back the music. All right, perfect. All right. So that is so satisfying. I can't even tell you. And if you're familiar with this, oh, that came out with a bit of a blemish. But cool part is that I'll be using the backside. So this is basically a IKEA pegboard, right? And this is design that I found on the application that's built into the printer interface. So the printer interface has basically kind of like your own little Google search for a bunch of items. So the website itself that comes with the Bambu Labs is actually called Maker World, right? Maker World, and it's just the Google for everything 3D printing. So what I did right away was I started just searching. So instead of searching things on Google, I just started searching things on that website and a couple of others like Thingiverse. And there's just quite a few that already have a thriving community that's been doing this for years, that has files ready and available for you to start printing. But going back to it, right? They have files already built into the system. So like I was mentioning, even before you start connecting it to computers and getting nerdy with it, you already have the ability to print things out. I'm gonna grab one of the things. Like this. This is another little scraper tool, right? And the Bambu Labs actually gives you this blade, right? So that then you can build this little holder and little scraper tool that fits in here, and it's all branded, right? So you got like the bed scraper, you have an actual scraper, which is something that you can use to kind of clean off certain prints, right? Like let's say you get a little excess, or let's say like a little like fringing there, you're able to just easily like knock off the excess with this scraper tool, which is awesome. But as you can see, that what I printed was a pegboard, right? And the reason why is because this 3D printer has unlocked so much creativity and so many things that I can do with it. Now, I told you that I got it last week and that I set it up on Saturday, and I've been printing nonstop for a week. So what actually have I been printing? And boy, there's a lot. Let me see if I can give you a little bit behind the scenes over here. Now, this is my camera. Right? I'm gonna try to bring it down here and just kind of angle it. Oh, too far down. There we go. Sorry for that quick movement. But this is what we got here, right? And this is just what I'm gonna show you. This same little pegboard, I made my first one in white, and I already attached it, right, and adhered it to my desk because it gives me a variety of different accessories that I can attach to this pegboard, like my mouse, I literally just created a little stand, and now I have a position and a place for my mouse. And I have already a couple of things that I have designed that are going to be going here. One of them being my Allen wrench key holder. So it's just going to like extend from here, and I'm going to have access to all of my Allen keys instead of having them basically everywhere. Like if you can see, you know, like the mess that I have just out of sight, right? So out of sight, out of mind, out of the cone of cleanliness, right? And you don't see any of that mess. But I bring it back here because just next to it is the pile of things that I have 3D printed. Now, if you're a camera junkie like me, you have a variety of different cameras, and a variety of different cameras also will give you a variety of different batteries. So I do have a variety of different batteries for different camera types and brands. And the hardest thing is to kind of keep them all consolidated and like tight knit in a group. Well, not anymore, because ever since I found this, you know, Maker World website, I pretty much was able to just type in any keyword for things that I was looking for. So I would type in Sony Alpha batteries, or the actual battery like the Sony NPF 50s, right? Or NPFW 50s, right? And I just put all of those things up, and boom, an entire plethora of people that were going through similar situations, but then found a way around them with this, with 3D printing. So now go back over here to the overhead, right? I'm going to show you one of my first prints, which is a battery case for my NPFW 50 batteries, right? And now I do have them numbered, but this is a cute little like just carrying case where I'm able to carry 4 of these batteries easily, and it still uses my safe system. So as you can see, my batteries are numbered, right? And then on the back side, I have little X's because that's when they have been spent, right? Like I've already used these batteries, so I flip it to the X side. So what that does is that it allows me to load all of these batteries, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, as you can see, if I were to do it in the correct order, right? And have this nice little case for my NPFW 50 batteries. And this is so much more convenient and easier to use, including that if I were to need to swap out a battery, right? And I go, okay, take the one out of the camera, and I go to number 3, then number 2 will go in its slot, and I will put it reverse, showing the X, right? So it's like, it's almost like catering to the way that I've set up my batteries themselves. So I already know, hey, you know what? That one needs recharging, and I will jump to the next one in order, going by the numbers, because that's how I use my batteries. But then I also have my Sony NPF 100 batteries, right? And I have a couple of these. Now this one came out really nice. As you can see, they even branded it with a logo. Oh, focus. Focus. I feel like I'm talking to Milo in Mask. Drop it. Drop it. Come on, focus. Okay, we're going to bring it down here, but we can get a clear shot. Let's see if we can bring it up. There we go. Is staying focused? No, it dropped it some reason there. Anyways, this is the Sony 100 batteries, and they work pretty much the same. Simple little holes at the bottom allowing you to eject the batteries, but once again have the ability to swap them from top to bottom, from to back, and it makes it super easy, super convenient for my batteries. Now you're saying, well, what about if you have Nikon batteries? Well, we have those as well, right? This one, the print didn't come out too well. That was user error, but it still works. So functional is better than non-functional, right? And it works the same way. So I have, for my, these are the EL25s. Yep, these are the EL25 batteries from my Nikon cameras, and now they got a case. Guess what? I have my, you know, non-branded Nikon. What are these? These are the EL14s, you know, but this is for my 3500, which you can see is living on that shelf right there. So I got the batteries, and now instead of them flopping around everywhere, it's got them in this nice little case. Well, guess what? My Fuji camera, boom, same thing. So now I got my Fuji batteries in a nice little case. And even my BX ones, right? From Sony. Oh. So my NP BX1 batteries also have a nice little case for them just the same way. And now all of this, honestly, because it's like blocked out, fits so much better in any camera bag, right? Just me being able to kind of like block them up into Lego pieces, like just this alone, it's just been like absolutely worth it with my adventures in 3D printing. But as you can see, with the pegboards and so many things coming out, like this is just me scratching the surface of it. So now let me go back to this shot. I'm gonna grab something from over here because that's where I put it, but I do want to show it. I know it seems simple, right? But this little thing is going to be the game changer because this is the idea that I have for it. Now, this has 3 little hooks and is designed for the same exact pegboard. So now, if I were to take the pegboard, attach said shelf to it, and this is a perfect little cutout for my Sony cameras. Now, this has got me drooling because the amount of files that I found under Sony Alpha in this, Maker World program, it's just got my mind racing. So what I have planned, and I want to ask you guys, so I would love to get your feedback, right, is that I'm going to be making a 5x3 board of these pegboards, right? Because you could kind of like link them and just make them a lot bigger. So this printer, I ordered some more filament, so it's just going to be spooling off for the next week because each board takes about an hour. So this is going to be like about a 15-hour project because I need 15 of these little bad boys right here, minus one that I have in my hand. And I'm going to be setting it up on a grid of 3x5. Right now, this grid on 3x5, I have 2 places for possible locations of where I'm going to mount this hardware, so to speak. And I would like to know what you guys think, and I would love to get your opinions of it because this is my set and this is my background. So I would love to hear what you guys think of it. Now, the biggest eyesore, the biggest space that I don't get to use here is right here, right? Is the window space. But because there's so many possibilities with this 3D printing and everything that I can do, I'm just gonna give you a glimpse of what I thought. I've had the shelf there this entire time, and I've only been able to put things on top of it. My idea is to actually put things underneath it. So I'm thinking about hanging the grid right here. And right there, I will basically cover up this kind of like space that is unusable. And now I'll have an entire display that I can set up all my camera gear right there. Now, if not there, right, this is what I want your opinion, right? Because I can hang it from the upside down and have everything like kind of draped down like a curtain, so to speak, but a curtain of tech. The other spot is the current location of my boxes. Because the same amount of space, the 3x5 on these brackets is basically the same exact space there, which could also be, like pretty convenient as well. Instead of having the boxes there, right? Or over here, kind of create this grid there. And by placing the grid there, it not only is going to be displayed, but I'll actually have it like directly under the other cameras. So it'll just kind of be the wall of cameras and won't be something that kind of deflects my actual window when I'm using it during the day. So I would love to get your, your ideas of which section, say small window or big window. Right? That would be your choices. So if you can type in the chat, small or big, I'll read them out and I'll tally them up. Actually, you know what? Let's do something different. I'm going to create a poll. Let me grab my mouse that I have in its holder. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, you know what? Let's create a poll. I rarely do this, but I should do more of it. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to do a poll. Oh, I'm going to write it like that. Okay. All right, so I wrote, which window, ? Small or big? And I wrote small funnily on purpose. And that's because I was actually introduced to a new channel called Small World, right? Spelled in that type of way. And Tom Buck was the one who actually recommended that channel. It's about modeling, and then it also goes into play with like small little tiny microscopic 3D printed parts so that they can be added to the model. It's very, very, very interesting. But we ran a poll. That's something that I usually don't do, but that's cool. We'll get those results in a little bit. So those are my ideas when it comes to printing. As you can see, there's so many different things that you can do. Let me see. Oh, let me give you another example. Something that I wasn't even thinking that I was going to end up doing is like learning so much in such little time, because even though it's a 3D printer, there's different types of filaments, different types of materials that you can use. So what I'm using right now is called PLA, which is just basically kind of hard plastic. But one of the things, or one of the issues that I have here right on my desk, and I'll go back to like my overhead over here so you can see, right? Okay. My Macintosh is telling me low disk space, which makes sense. I need to get my NAS. All right, so I'll leave it hanging right here. As you can see, there's a lot going on my desk, right? But one thing that I always have on my desk is, let me not reveal my drink, my Monster Energy. And there's sometimes that I have it here in this area right here, and I'll go grab something like this and kind of my arm would drag it. And I would hate to tell you that it hasn't happened, but more than I like to admit, I've spilled my Monster drinks right on my desk, on top of all, like, or not on top of, but right next to all of these electronics, which just, it drives me batty, because I'm like, I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm still gonna be drinking my Monsters, right? I'm not gonna lie, right? So with that being said, right, I go ahead and I start searching on this website of things, you know, just random things, and I come across this little bad boy right here. Let me see if we can get a good shot of it. All right, and this is an anti-spill tray. So it's got a nice wide base, and now it's designed for my Monster can to live, and now it's got its own space where you can try to spill it. And what it's going to do is that it's going to scoot around or along this wide base, which is phenomenal. But the reason why I bring it up is because it's made out of that hard plastic. But I found something else to add to my, you know, liquids system here, right? Which is the different types of material. Now, this green thing right here is actually a wrist rest, right? For the mouse, right? But instead of making it out of this same hard plastic, okay, my computer telling me that we lost memory, so it stopped recording. If I need the backup, I'll just get it from YouTube. So this is what is called TPU, right? Instead of PLA, which is like the hard plastic, which basically everything else here has been made out of, this is a more of a like Crocs material, right? Like what Crocs shoes are made out of, that it's like a hard compound, but it still has flexibility in it, right? And I can just demonstrate that. As you can see, very hard to break because it's not brittle, but it gives you that ability of like creating something that's more soft to the touch. And that's why I created a palm rest out of it, because I was looking for something of that manner And let me see if I can display how this works, right? As you can see, let's see if I can get it in the shot. There we go. It's very similar like that. As you can see, it just travels with you, very lightweight, and it works perfectly. So I took the same material, the TPU, and created a cap to double down on my spill proofness. So on top of having a base, which is anti-spill, I also have an anti-spill cap. So if, God forbid, something were to happen that it does tip over, it's now sealed as well, drip proof for my monster cans, and also avoids, from any things flying into it accidentally. So that's one of the many things, right? And that was just kind of to elaborate the difference on those different materials. But now I'm gonna also show you something else that I wasn't even expecting, that I was just like, wow, this became a game changer. Now, some of you know that I own the Apple Vision Pro. I use it a lot for my use case scenario, almost extensively. Every day I have this unit on my face, one way or another. I came across something in this thing that I was just like, oh my God, I need to print it right away. And I did. And once I printed it, I don't think I can go back. So the thing is that the Apple Vision Pro has its own little style, and the style has to do with this little cover, right? This little cover is the part that goes over your eyes and over your face to kind of set up the Vision Pro. Now, this is the style of Apple, and certain people kind of were just not liking the new style of it compared to what we already had on the market with other VR or AR types of headsets, like the Meta Quest Pro, and things like that. So what I found was a hybrid of both. And as you can see, the reason why I have this in my hand is because it's not actively on my Apple Vision Pro, and I'm kind of like really enjoying this new experience. So the Apple Vision Pro has pass-through where you can see everything, kind of like if they were just glasses where you can see what's right in front of you. But there is still certain areas where, your peripheral vision is going to be taken away, because they're trying to hone you in onto this box. So with no further delays, I'm going to show you my Meta Quest adapted 3D printed headpiece for my Apple Vision Pro. Now, it's totally opened everything up. So just to give you a display to show you how easy it is. And now I'm already wearing my Apple Vision Pro. It's putting the weight on the top end of my head, right? And I put a little cushion there, just like the Meta Quest. And now I'm able to rock this, as you can see, with this open. So it also allows a lot of my peripheral vision. So right here where my hands are actively, right, I can see my hands because of the peripheral vision. But if I were to have the enclosure, that would be in darkness. You understand? And I've been just crazy surprised on how well the Apple Vision Pro is working in this setup. And it's been a game changer for me, because it's a lot more. Is it comfortable? Yeah, I just have to say it's like the best of both worlds. It is taking the pressure away from like my cheekbones and just putting it right here on top, which is one of the hardest parts of the body, right? The top of the cranium right here. And it kind of just repositions the weight. And because the weight is no longer physically on the face, if I told you that I was wearing this thing for 6 hours before, my goodness, I could just wear this non-stop as if they were just like my glasses, because this combination right here has just been zero complaints. That's all I can say. Absolute zero complaints. I even think that it got me to play the game that I play, Synth Riders, even a little bit better. I hit a couple of first places while I was using it. I was like, man, could that made that much of a difference? We'll find out. We'll see where the scores lie. But now, even my Apple Vision Pro, right, I was able to print this entire little setup here, right, that lives on top with the cushion. And now this looks nice, man. Like, don't get me wrong, like, that looks nice. And if Apple were to have come out with this right off the bat, people would have been like, oh my God. But I also know that Apple needed to put their stamp on it, and they weren't going to take somebody else's like style and use it on their own. But I digress. Right now, I did it for myself, and this is the bomb. Like, just... And that's one of many, and I mean many things. I can now just like look around my desk and or throughout this entire place, and there's so many things that I've been able to just elevate and just upgrade. That's given me so many more options, right? Because now that I have that, I also 3D printed some shelves, right? So you see those little hexagons back there? Those are also new. Those are printed, and I was able to put them on there, and they're housing or holding my camera lenses. So they're up there already, but now as shelves, I can put whatever I want on there. And if I go with the grid system, either here or there, then I'm probably going to be throwing those lenses onto the grid system, which now opens up those shelves for other things, you know, within my setup or within my backdrop. So that's just one other thing. Oh, let me show you this, because this is just so cool. You know what? I'm going to use the other camera. Let me see here. No, not that one. The next one. That one. Boom. Okay. So going back to this, I'm going to show you. It's really cool. Okay, so it seems so simple, right? But right there on that computer in the background is like my gaming computer, and I have my PlayStation 4 controller connected via Bluetooth to it. So this actually doesn't control my PS4, it controls my PC that I use as my game console. But this controller is always rattling around on the desktop over there, didn't have a place for it. And that's like the thing, you know, a place for everything and everything in its place. So scrolling through that same little thing, I found this little bad boy, which is kind of like the logo of the PlayStation, right? The square, triangle, XO, right? These are the buttons that you find on a PlayStation controller. You can see right there. And that is kind of their branding. So I was able to 3D print a perfect controller holder for my PlayStation 4 controller. And now that sits perfectly atop my computer. Right there. So like I said, there's no aspect of anything that I can look at right now and not think of something that it can elevate itself. And kind of to get back to you guys, because I've been running off on a soliloquy here. The last thing that you guys know that I love about my desk setup is that it's completely metal. And I'm big on magnets. And one of the things that I absolutely love that I've mentioned to you before is when I purchased these guys, right? When I purchased my LTT branded, as you can see, LTT branded, what are these called? The arches, the magnetic arches, right? So these are magnets, and these allow me to just put basically anything onto these hooks, and they stick to my magnetic surface. So to go to this shot right here, let me bring it up so that we can see it. Okay, as you can see, all of this over here is metal, and it's like, bam, it's stuck on there, right? And I can take anything and throw it on there. I literally can take anything. Oh, here's a good example. Just above it, I have my headphones. Those are hanging right there by those same media hooks, right? So you can basically put anything that you want on these hooks, and I love the system, and I was going to purchase some more and order them from Mr. LTT until I found the files on Maker World. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I'm big on magnets. I ended up buying some high-powered neodymium magnets. And now I am able to 3D print as many of these, LTT arches in whichever size that my heart desires, which is really, really interesting, because the last thing that I'm going to mention to you about the Bambu Labs printer, which was really cool and it was unexpected and just made it that much like nicer when it comes to the overall experience, is the fact that they gave you free gifts. Now, I haven't even dove into all of them, but they did come in the box. So let me share that with you as well. Going back to the overhead, let's remove these neodymiums. Right? And this is the box, or the boxes that came as far as the free gift with my Bambu Labs A1 Mini. Now, as you can see here, they're all in the boxes. I haven't even touched them because I've had so much fun even without this. But there were 2 of these boxes and I already got into one of them. So the first thing that came out was this little box of 8 by 2 millimeter neodymium round magnets, 20 pieces in a box, and they came with 2 boxes. So there was 40 of these little magnets that came in here. I already consumed one of the boxes, so that's the second. We also have a upgraded Benchy, right? So the little boat that you print out called Benchy, or kind of like your bench test of the 3D printer, that's where it gets the name. This is the next level of it. This is a full-size little toy boat, and what this is the actual motor. So the little motor in the back of this boat, right, is the part that's in this box, and it's a like wind up little like motor for a boat, right, for a motorboat. But yeah, so what it is one of these like little winded toys, and what you can do is that you can actually go on the application on your phone, because that's another cool thing that I forgot to mention, which is you don't have to run this program itself from the computer at all. So I had mentioned that I do have the full-blown like suite installed on my computer, but I don't have to use it. You can do all of these files and send the prints to the printer wirelessly from your phone directly. And this is one of the ways that they show you how to do it. You scan this on your phone. It will then take you to the app where you can install it. Then you download the file for this printable boat, send it to the printer, it prints the boat, and then you attach the motor that's in the box onto it, and you have the complete kit of your boat model, right? 1/10 scale, so to speak, of this little Benchy like little boat. Now, another thing which I haven't even seen exactly what it is, but I can just read off to you so you can see what it is. Remote controlled 16 color RGBW puck lights, and it's a 2-pack. So this is already in here, and the same thing, if you were to scan this code, you will get different options to download the files of the lamps that you want to cover these RGB pucks. So these pucks will live inside of a variety of different things, and if you print it thin enough, right, it kind of becomes transparent. So if you print something semi-thin in a white filament, man, you're gonna be able to like emit whichever color and get that coming off of it like a soft boxer, like a lot of the lights that we're constantly using in our setups. So this is also included into that set. And then kind of the same thing, but this is a 12-piece candle set, right? So this is that little like teacup flaming candles, right? And it gives you, once again, the variety of different options and different things that you can print to decorate your home and to like spruce it up using these little candle set, right? The little teacup candles. Now these are all electronics, because I feel that if you were to use actual fire on these filaments, it will be hot enough to melt them. Obviously fire melts just about everything, but I don't think that they're actual, like, you know, these should be like LED like little lights. So this came automatically with the kit, and right away, me being a magnet fiend, right, I opened the box of magnets, and this is what came in it. As you can see, 8 by 2 millimeter little row, and 20 magnets. Now, these magnets, even though neodymium are strong, they're not the strongest. So I was thinking, you know what? I got 2 boxes. How can I double up on it? But right after I, started figuring out what I can do with these magnets is when I came across the LTT file, right? And once I got the LTT file and I was like, hey, I can make the extra large, arches here for the magnets. As you can see, added the magnets at the bottom. Now, mind you, full disclosure, the neodymium magnets that I got are not the same strength as the ones from LTT. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference. This small arch has an even bigger magnet than the one that I have in my big arch, but that's the difference and that's what you pay for. Now, if I need heavy duty stuff, I still have these, but for light work, I can print out as many of these that I want. And once again, like I was trying to emphasize, that I can print them out in whichever size that I want. So even though I have these, I was able to print out another similar size, which is smaller. And that's where I have a variety of different options. So this is a small LTT clip. This is the one that I printed. And as you can see, I was using basically the same types of magnets. So these hold on a little better, right? But as you can see that I'm trying to kind of mimic the size. So this is the smallest. This is the largest, until I got my hands on these files and made the smallest of the small, the microscopic arch. So let's see if we can get into there. See, so I was able to scale down, and this is like the cutest little thing. I can't even emphasize to you like how cool this is, right? So now, instead of me trying to get these magnets to like magnetize big heavy things, right, and know that they weren't strong enough at all, I was able to put them on these tiny little arches, which are just, I can tell you, perfect for a single cable. So now, like, all the cables that I had hanging around here so I can plug in my iPhones and things like that are now sitting against my desk on a little arch like this, just waiting for me to use them. And when I don't use them, they get locked in perfectly right there with this perfect little microscopic one cable only tiny arch. So going from extremes to the least extremes, see if I can show you. And all of this, and this is what I'm telling you, you could probably see the smile on my face. Like, this has just been so much fun being able to scale all these models and get them to do and make things to cater to what I'm doing in exactly the same way that I'm doing it. And guys, it's only been a week. Guys, it's only been a week and I'm already like stacked up. If I go back to this one, oh, let me see if I can show you. Right there, we have white. We have the TPU. We have 2 more layers of gray and black, and then 2 more boxes of black because I bought the extra filament so that I can make more of these guys, right? So I can make my whole setup. So I bought filament. I'm like all in. I'm super like hooked on 3D printing. And that hasn't even scratched the surface, because when I first thought of this, I was thinking I'm gonna be making like ring gears. So for example, I bought these, right? These are newer ring gears in a variety of different sizes, right? This material here is very similar to what we have here. See? Very, very similar. You know, it's a plastic, but still has like rubber components, so to speak, very flexible. You know, it's durable, it's tough, but it's also malleable, right? You can move it and squeeze it and change it, stretch it just a bit, right? It's not elastic, but it does have a little give to make things nice and snug. So to give you an example of how they fit on camera lenses, right? Nice and snug so that I can use them with my setup and my focus puller, even though I'm using it for the zoom. All of that is now available because instead of waiting, right? Like this is, you know, it just came to me as like the next level for instant gratification, right? Like I've talked about how satisfying it is to order from Amazon, right? Where I'm like, oh, I need something, right? But instead of packing up everything, Aiden, going to the store, doing this, doing that, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, I can just order it and have someone deliver it, Amazon in this case, directly to me. And all of these accessories or all the filaments and all the things that I wanted to get for it has just been a click away on Amazon. The same thing. A lot of times, like I'm like, oh, I have this idea and I want to order something, and when I check Amazon, it's telling me like it's noon. Right, it's noon when I'm checking it, and they're telling me, oh, we'll have it at your house between 2 and 5. And I'm like, within 2 hours of me ordering something, it's already going to be at my house. That's instant gratification. That's the amazingness of Amazon. This takes it to the next level, because now I'm inside of my home, and literally anything that I could imagine, I can make. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I might never do dishes again, right? I just might just print out a new dish every single time that I go to make a meal, just so that I don't have to wash it once I'm done with it. But, you know, joking, obviously, but that goes to show you like the level of like instant gratification of what you can get done instantly. Because even if something as simple as like, hey, you know what? I need a cup, right? Or I want a mug for cold drinks or anything like that. Then you know what? You can just easily get a file, and in a half an hour you have what you're looking for. Like that's the next level of Amazon, right? Like they can sometimes get things to your house in 2 hours, but you can make something in 30 minutes. And it's like ready to go, good to go. Also, there's a learning experience, right? I can't tell you that, hey, every single one of my prints came out perfectly, because they didn't. And in a week, I have a box over here full of enough, like, you know, bad stuff. See? Defective prints. Well, not defective, but not as good, because it was a learning experience. So just to give you an example, you see this? Looks nice and smooth, right? Nice color too, right? My first print of it, not so smooth, right? You see like all this fuzziness around it, and this is me still trying to like salvage this piece. So it did finish printing, but with my woes, right? Let me see if I can get the overhead to show it better. Yeah. As you can see, like that is not a clean print whatsoever, right? And that's like my learning aspect. Like, look at that. It looks like a humid day in Miami. That's what it looks like, right? So instead of having all that frizz, I then learned those aspects, right? And as you can see, there's still a little bit, but I actually saw that more through the camera than anything else. Man, these cameras are sharp. But still, you can tell the difference in the quality of the print. This is all smooth, so it's not bumpy, so that when I actually put my hand to rest on it, right, it feels good. And now look at this. That's an ergonomic like setup, if I can say so myself, right? This is a really cool design when it comes to a palm rest, because it also gives you the ability to like open it up. So let's say you were typing, right? You have that ability to do so. So it's like, it's really cool, because it does give you the aspect to, you know, like manipulate the mouse and, you know, hey, give your wrist a rest, right? With your wrist rest, or rest. Reverse it and it'll make sense. But with that being said, let me go back to the chat to close things out for tonight to see. Oh, we got Paul. Paul just snuck in there, and yep, that's me on my soliloquy. Now let me go check the comments. Hold on, let me go back to that. No, that wasn't the right one. Oop, comments. There we go. Let's see where we are. Okay, Mulain said, I got my blue Hawaiian Doc Pops and they look great. So cool. Absolutely. Okay, so we got Sweet. We got Paul Feinberg. So cool to have you here, bro. Says, man, I want a 3D printer. Seems fun. Dude, if you saw the enthusiasm on my face, bro. Another recommendation. If you are going to get into 3D printing, this is the smallest footprint, is the easiest to go. If you were to research this at all, You would only find raving reviews about this. This is the number one recommended, hey, you're starting to get into 3D printing printer. And it was just a lot of fun. I recommend definitely going with the A1 Mini, and also for the price, right? For the price, just can't beat it. This was $200, $199 on sale right now. Even right now for Black Friday, you're probably gonna get even better deals, or like a better gift kit or gift box that it comes with. But $200. I did buy some accessories directly from them. So the first thing that I did was I bought my first roll of filament, right? Theirs was overpriced compared to what you can get on Amazon. So my recommendation for you is, if you're gonna get some extra stuff from Bambu Labs, you can stay away or shy away from their filaments, because even though they're good, there's not that much of a difference than what you can get from Amazon for like almost half the price. Because I think it was like $26 or $28 that I bought from Bamboo Labs. And I've gotten some as low as like $13 or $14 on Amazon. So I definitely recommend that there. But now I'm gonna grab something else just to show you what I also recommend you do pick up. Nozzles. So these are the nozzles that come off of the 3D printer. Now, if you can see, let me make sure that we can get it to focus, because that is important, right? They have this diameter size, 0.6. Now, the printer comes with a 0.4, which is like a happy medium, right? It is like the best as far as like being detailed and also being fast. But there's also, because these are also called extruders. So this is where the filament extrudes from. Let me see if I can get it right there. It says 0.02. This is super fine. This is such a small opening that it gives the highest quality and level of detail in any print. But because it's so small and so fine, it's gonna more than double the length of the print, right? So if you want small things that are very detailed, like, you know, miniatures, then this is the extruder that you're gonna want to get and use, because this is gonna get you the highest quality detail. Now, I think these were running like around $14, $15 for each from Bamboo Labs, and this is what I recommend because it comes with the 0.4. So I got the entire set. I bought the 0.2, which was a little bit sharper, right? Fine. I got the 0.6, and I also got the 0.8. Oh, sorry. I have the 0.8 on the printer right now. So right now we have the 0.2, the 0.4, let me see if I can get it there, and the 0.6. And the 0.8 is the one with the biggest hole, which will allow the fastest prints, which is why I'm using it for these bad boys, right? Because these are prints that take a long time, so I'm trying to eliminate the speed on it. And because they're a big, like a big item, then it's also, you know, it's gonna take the most amount of time and the most amount of filament as well, or material. So that's why I have it set up, just to give you an idea of how I'm using it. But this would be my recommendation to you. These were like 15 bucks each, but if you buy them when you buy the system, they give you like a 15% discount. So they ended up being like $9 or something. Actually, it was 25% off that I got. So yeah, that ended up being like 10 bucks, $9 or something like that each. And hella worth it. Hella worth it, because this also has a super easy system, which, you know what, let's go to it. Today's been a demonstration type day. So no, this one, the eCam, look at that. I didn't even do that on purpose. I'm starting to sound like Tom Buck. But right here, I did that to show you how easy it is to change the extruders off of the system, which is what makes the Bambu A1 series awesome. And the A1 Mini being the smallest one of the A series that you can find, dude, to me it's like a no-brainer. I paid $270 something in total. If you don't get the filament, you can take like an extra like 20-30 bucks off of that. So I would say for under $250, get the A1 Mini. You don't need the AMS, right? This is just a starting project or, you know, printer. So you don't know if you're gonna be doing it full blown. But at the same time, I highly recommend $250. This 3D printer, I can't vouch for it enough. I've made so many different changes. You know what? Here's another one. This is a geared holder for my iPhone. An iPhone stand on my desk. 3D printed. And if I go into like the cost of materials and time, like this is pennies on the dollar. And the most thing that I'm excited about is that I have the ability to create anything that I want for myself from myself. So just to go back to it one last time, this is my Stream Deck. I've made this little holder here out of foam core, and it's held for a couple of years, and I use this with all my edits. It allows me to hold my Stream Deck in an ergonomic position and allows me to put my hand on top of it right there so that I can reach all the keys perfectly. That is gonna be my project, my pet project, which is I got to scan this and reproduce this on that machine right there. And then I will then have the ability to put it onto my fourth wall site, and anyone who wants one can pick one up directly from me. But it would be the full circle. It'll be closing the circle, because when I made this out of foam core, the intentions were always to reproduce it for myself in PLA, in a 3D print. And now that I have everything that I need, the last thing that I need to do is upgrade my skill, right? Upgrade my skill into the programming, into the CAD programs, so that I can learn how to reproduce this item into the system and then have it print out. I'm super excited, and I'm so glad that I was able to share this with you guys today, because this has just been like next level stuff for me. I'm just super excited because there's like endless possibilities of the things that I can do with this 3D printer. And look, you can tell we're 10 minutes past the hour, and I'm like, I went back to the comments and went on another complete soliloquy on it. So, and look, he says that thing is tiny, and it is, bro. It is. Oh, it says, curious how big of stuff you can print with it. Okay, basically it's a 7x7 grid, and it's just like a cube. So this one is limited, right? It is limited, but it's a 7x7x7. So you can basically do something. Now, FYI, just to let you know, something that I already have in the works, which I want to try just to test out my skills of 3D printing, is that I want to remake the NBA airless basketball. I'm probably going to make it out of the TPU material because it's nice and malleable. But I can't get the full size. I had to scale it down 25% and get it down to 75 so that it can fit on the plate. But I am going to do one of those airless basketballs. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just super cool because it's just infinite possibilities. It says, I really would want to print like camera accessory types. Would love it, like the DJ and mic handles and stuff. Absolutely, dude. Caleb Pike has done a lot of these things, and I call him my soul MacGyver because I feel like we're on the same wavelength with a lot of things, except his budget is a lot bigger than mine when it comes to picking up the items to create these concoctions in his mind. So he's awesome. He's made some for like the DJI wireless mics and things like that. So I know that there's just infinite possibilities, including the Cineback series that he has done now. I actually went to buy one of his Cineback setups earlier this year, and they were all sold out. So I had to come up with like my own because those weren't available. Just to give you a little demonstration, this is a bit of the setup that I came up with my FX30. Don't have a lens on there right now, but this is the setup, right? And what I was looking for was to even upgrade this setup, which I've already been looking into making kind of like my own pieces for it as well, where this will be replacing where the door lives, so to speak, just to give you a demonstration, right? And 3D printing the parts to add to like the camera rigs. So just like Caleb Pike and Camera Foundry, iRig Pro and things like that, I'll have the ability to make a setup and a cage kit and anything at my heart's desire. So don't think that that's not in the works, because as you can see, it obviously is. It was the main reason why I wanted to get my 3D printer, like different things like this. This is just an adapter for an iPhone, right? So this allows you to take your iPhone with the MagSafe, throw it on there, and what it does is, you can see it covers your cameras perfectly. And this is a 52 millimeter filtering, so you're able to put filters like neutral density filters so that you can get correct exposure onto your iPhone. And being it that it's MagSafe, it will just simply magnetize to your phone. You use it, and when you're done, simply unmagnetize it and you have your phone back. So variety of different things, right? From like the screen protectors, right? Because this is what it is protect your camera screen from taking damage while you're using it, or filter threads and things like that you can use with your setup. Possibilities literally are limitless. Sly is here as well, saying hey Lewis, hey everyone, I love that. We also have Nano in the house saying hello folks. Look, I'm so backed up, we're 15 minutes past the hour. So that would be great use of that space and look great. Okay, I'm still gonna see what the poll said, right, to see which window you guys thought would be best. Randy says, which choice of camera gear for the shelf over the window? Okay, so I'm guessing he's thinking this window, right? And like using the negative space. This is, as long as you can still open the blinds, I'd use the big window, like the Tetrix boxes. Okay, it isn't gonna block the blinds at all. It's actually gonna live, if you can see, in this little space in between. That's the edge of the blinds. That's the light, and then there's that little space right there of wood on the shelf, and that's exactly where I'd be mounting it, and then just draping it down. It will literally live in the space where my hand is right now, like on the screen. So it'll be at that angle, and then it'll also, I think it'll allow me to highlight the camera stuff there, and having the light directly above it is only going to enhance like the vibe that you get from it. So he goes, my worst one was a 32 ounces of coffee across the keyboard, bro. Yeah, I know. Like I said, like I get mad at myself so many times. Like I do, I'm like, you're so dumb. Why are you doing this? You should know better, right? But now I double protected myself, right, with a spill proof and a lid for it. That looks very comfortable. So we're talking about the wrist rest. JP says, I'm afraid of going to get your. No, it says, I'm afraid of this is going to get you sidetracked, as I'm afraid of going to have to help you in an intervention. You're just that is so funny. That's the whole thing. I can't say that it hasn't been a distraction. It has been it's very soothing, right? You know what? Let's do this. We're gonna close this out. We're running a little late, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the plate back on there, and I'm going to run the same print one more time, and that's where we'll close out the show. And to do so, I have to put on the extruder that I just took off, right? So we're going to go back to that scene. You're going to watch me do it. go. Cool part is that you guys are seeing me do this in real time to show you how easy it is to just exchange the extruder. So now that that's exchanged, right, I'm gonna put the cover on it. Yeah, and look, let me show you, like, there's nothing that you can't do with this. So this is the cover that comes with the Bambu Labs. And then this is the one that I printed myself. Little skull guy, right? So I'll show you the difference. Original Bambu Labs skull dude over that little thing, replacing it as the eye. Now, the cool thing about this is that the eye actually moves to show you that the filament is working. So we're going to take the plate. It snaps on magnetically. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to the program here, and we're going to print this plate. And now I've just sent the file over to the computer. Now that I've sent it, it's being transmitted 100%. We should see the little LCD turn on, right? And the LCD right now is downloading the file. And you can see it just showed up on the little LCD, which is one of these brackets. And now it's already, as you can see, it's going to start doing everything. So I'm just going to walk you through it real quick. This is going to do all of the things that is hard for the novice user of 3D printing, and it takes care of everything for you. So it does the bed leveling to make sure that the bed is perfect, and it does like the extrusion amount. It's gonna go through an entire process, and this is why I said that this is where it comes like very satisfying. The same way that you would say like a soothing, that you would hear like waves of the ocean crashing in back and forth, kind of like that white noise in the background. This, oh, it gives you all the hookups, like all the feels, so to speak, because it's just kind of like that white noise, the computer guy just running in the background, and it does everything, and it just goes to work. That's why I said I just let it do its thing, and it's just been working nonstop. So Aiden's excited. Get a better shot of it. There we go. And you can see it just starts doing all of his own thing. Like you can see with the little like skull face, he looks like an orc from Lord of the Rings. So there's nothing about this printer that I don't like, including the tray to the left. Well, this is what we call the poop tray, right? So this little thing right here, right to the left of the image, it actually is going to make sure that it's like extruding the filament correctly. So it's going to run a test. And what it does is that it builds it up, and as it's testing it, once it's done, it needs a place to dump it, and it actually kind of like poops it out on the side. And that is just a little tray that catches the little said poops. And those said poops are actually the tray itself. I 3D printed on the printer itself. So it's like, it's just giving me a bunch of things to print to accessorize the same unit that I bought. And it's just like, it's just so much fun. But going back to JP's comment, the thing about it is that it allows me to do all of this. Like right now I'm running the live stream, right? That's what I'm actively doing. So whether it's that I'm cooking, whether it's that I'm taking care of Aiden, whether that I'm doing anything at all, this is just running in the background. And it allows me to be more creative with all of these things, but also still be productive. Because another thing is that it's just opened up a whole new level of like of availability for me, because I already mounted some of these over here, and now I just have hooks for like my keys and things like that in a location where normally I wouldn't have it. And I'm just kind of running tests, and the cool part about it is that most of these tests, they are being successful. Like they're just working out. So this is JP Jarrell Peak saying, what's up? Hey brother, how you doing? Says, sorry for coming in late. Bro, you made it on time. If you're here, you made it, brother. Says, you're 3D printing while I'm here carving a piece of plastic bottle cap for the washer to hold the mic. That's hilarious. Says, all jokes aside, I'm very happy for you. Love to see you grinning every time you show an item and enjoy. Thank you, man. That's what I said. Like, the enthusiasm is off the charts. So right now, as you can see, it's doing the bed leveling test. And it's checking all the points. And it's just like tapping it. It's just like so cool. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you could just sit there and just let it go. It's so soothing. Just to watch it go to work and just like no wasted movements. Everything on it is just like precise, and the way that it builds things out. And the cool thing is, like, you can set something to print, leave your house, and when you get back, magically there's something there, right? Something that didn't exist and now exists there, whether it's a cup, you understand, like anything, and it's just super cool. Randy says, wonderful streams. Good night, everyone. Have a great week. Thank you for hanging out, brother. Says JP says, this is great. Says Aiden likes the printer. He doesn't even pay attention to it. It says JP says, love the skull, right? It's so cool. Like, these are the things, like, right now the list of things that I have to print is stupid long, man. It is stupid long. Like, for example, I'm already looking into printing an under desk mount holder for the new Mac Minis, because Doc Rock ordered a Mac Mini, and he ordered a holder from me as well. He's like, hey, print one of those things out to me and send it to me before the 22nd, because that's when I get my Mac Mini. I'm like, all right, man. So he's already like, I'm already receiving order from friends for items. And like, you know what, let me give you the last example, because I can tell you, like, you can literally print anything. So I'm not big on decorations, but this is something that I printed for Peter Gregg. For those of you who know, and those of you who don't know, Peter Gregg runs a YouTube channel where he does all of his content out of the Christmas room, because Christmas is his favorite holiday. And now that Christmas is just creeping around the corner, the Christmas prints are being like emphasized and shown up in this Maker World program and things like that. Says, you see, JP says, I thought of 30 things that he needs to print. Like, dude, it's limitless. Even if it's something as like far as storage containers for like organizing screws. They got screw organizers. So like, let's say you have a bunch of different screws, you could just throw it into a system and they will categorize and, organize themselves. So I would say like a screw organizer, bunch of different things that you could do. But what was I going to mention? Oh, because like my mind runs wild on it. Oh my God, what is it? Oh, the decorations. That's what I was saying. Peter Gregg, he's the one who does the Christmas stuff. The Christmas decorations are out and about, and I printed one out, obviously, to test, and I'm going to be giving it to Peter Gregg. This is called a door corner, right? And this is exactly what it is. So let's see if we can emphasize. Let me go back to the overhead, right? As you can see, 2-color print. I did gray on the background for the moon, and then just black as the silhouette. And this lives on the corner of like your door. So you just literally just hang this off the corner of the door, and as like you're walking by it, you have this little like ornament type deal just hanging off on the corner right there. As you can see, it's 2D. It's just two pieces, very simple, just printed, and I just have it held together with double-sided tape, right? But just like that, it gives you something to like spruce up your, like your environment, just to kind of like decorate your surroundings. And like I made this, I thought of it, and I was like, okay, I'll give this to Peter Gregg. So I'm excited to do so. If he sees the live stream, then he'll know it's coming. But I should be getting in contact with him shortly, going to visit him, and I'll make sure that I have this. And you know what? Maybe something else. Maybe one of these Sony containers, right, that I kind of printed on extra might be a little gift heading over to Mr. Peter Gregg, right? And that's the other cool part, and that's where I'm gonna leave it, because as you can see, I can talk about this pretty much all night. But They always say like you should never show up anywhere empty-handed, right? Which is impossible to really do. But if you're able to do something like this and be thoughtful, right, and come up with something and not be empty-handed when you show up to visit your friends, I think that's just like a whole nother level of cool. And it could just be me, but I'm having so much fun with my 3D printer, not only for the things that are practical and super useful, right, like my battery holders, to little trinkets and, you know, like decorations that you can share along and gift to someone easily. It's always the thought that counts. And with 3D printing, I think is going to allow me to be that much more thoughtful. So that's where I'll leave it. Guys, I don't have a cities goal. I went a half an hour over, and good thing that I don't have another segment for today. But I would tell you that if anyone were to, like, I would emphasize on will probably be, once again, Mr. Linus Tech Tips, LTT, right? If you want to check out his merchandise, I highly recommend. All of his stuff is of the highest quality, right? All of his stuff. So you can see 3D printed, Mr. LTT, right? Knockoff, original, best thing on the market. And it's not that I won't be buying more stuff from him, but I just might not be buying arches, right? I could buy some other things from Mr. Linus Tech Tips. So a little, like, you know, half a city's gall, which is Mr. LTT, and one of his many channels. I've already highlighted him on Cities Gall before. That's why, you know, I wouldn't like kind of do it again, but it worked out perfectly because I don't have the time to do so. But that is it, everyone. Thank you. As always, we did it. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Yes, we did it. This is episode 206, and look at how time flies. This is episode 206, so that means in 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, and I'm saying this to myself because I gotta get on the ball. In just 2 weeks, we will be at episode 208, which will be 4 years consecutive of the Camera Junkie live stream. What I mean consecutive is like, yes, because this was actually episode 206. That is 206 episodes of the Camera Junkie live stream every single Saturday without skipping a beat. And I can't thank you guys enough for making this my favorite place to be. I love nerding out with you guys, and I love sharing these experiences, and hopefully you guys get that same enthusiasm and like joy for these items as I do. You guys rock. You guys make this my favorite place, and I can't thank you guys enough. So I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces. Let me rewind that. If you haven't done so, make sure to mark your calendars for next Saturday so that you can be here, episode 207, as we do it all over again, same time, same place on this YouTube channel, Mr. Camera Junkie. So thank you as always. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces when we do it all over again next week for episode 207. So I'll say it again. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next week. Talk to you.